A little advice. A little advice. Come on, yeah. Just a little advice. Just a little advice with Christine Little. Check it out.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Little Advice Podcast. It's a podcast where I, comedian Christine Little, gives a little unqualified advice to one of my guests. It's a little unqualified because I only have a little degree. I just have a BA in psychology, but I also consume a lot of self-help books, so this is my way of seeing if I can help someone else by using that knowledge I've accumulated. This is episode number 25 with a very funny comedian and writer, Zara Mizrahi. She works on Family Guy, American Dad, and she's a writer of many, many things. In this episode, we talk overcoming bullying, being an outsider, and the best way to handle joke theft. Also, because I love learning from the creative people that come on the show, we go into her process for coming up with ideas. And podcast related, if you want to talk more about the episode, feel free to email me or message me on Facebook or Instagram at @thexteenlittle. And please feel free to join the Little Advice podcast group. And I wanted to say a shout out to Sammy for your nice review of the podcast. I always appreciate that. And if you guys like the podcast, please remember to share, sub, rate it. It really helps out so much. Without further ado, here's episode number 25 with comedian Zara Mizrahi. Hello there. I am here with Zara Mizrahi.
What's up?
Zara, are you related to Isaac Mizrahi from Target?
I want to say yeah. Maybe I should just start saying yes to people because every time I say no, they get really disappointed.
I think you are related to him.
Oh, okay. Then yes.
I think I just did her DNA.
Yeah, we 23 just 23andMe'd it.
It's a cool name.
Thanks.
It's a very famous name. It sounds like you should be famous because there's Zara from the store and then Mizrahi because of your dad or whoever that is.
Definitely my dad. It's a very fashion heavy name.
Okay, so thank you for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
What's your problem?
In general?
Yeah.
Let's just dive right in.
Not a problem.
I know you asked me and it's hard because like right now I feel like life is pretty good, but I've overcome a lot of stuff.
You do a lot of self-help stuff. Like we've talked about this before. Like you grow as a human being.
I try to.
Yeah.
I think it's like the only thing we owe ourselves and the people we hang out with, you know?
Yeah.
Like I want to be like the best friend, comic, partner, you know, daughter as possible. So
a lot of people don't think that way. They don't see it that way. I mean, not, I think maliciously, but just, you know, it's the least we could do for ourselves and for other people who are around us.
Yeah, I think that's true. But it came to a point where I was really depressed. I was really anxious. I went through like a couple periods of my life where it was just like unbearable. And I had to.
What happened?
Well, like growing up, I was bullied a ton. And like from the moment I started school to the moment I left, which was when I was 16.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just really hard. I didn't fit in anywhere. Even now, I still kind of feel like I stick out a little.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've gotten used to it, so I'm not like uncomfortable. But I always feel like I'm a little like outsidery. I think I've always felt that way.
That's so funny.
It does like, not seem like that at all.
Well, because you're so, like, gorgeous and, like,
I
wouldn't, and, like, skinny, and I just wouldn't think that you would feel like an outsider. But you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah, I always feel like I stick out like a sore thumb.
Why were people bullying you? Not that anyone deserves it. I'm not like, what'd you do to deserve it?
No, maybe I did, to be honest. I mean, who am I to say I didn't, you know? I mean, there were a few things. Like, I grew up in LA. We didn't have a lot of money, and somehow we finagled our way into private school.
Love it.
So I was, like, the poor kid in private school, and all these rich kids were, like, really, really mean. And then, like, you know, divorced parents, and everyone was very conventional, and so I would be made fun of for that, be made fun of for the car I drove.
School.
And it's dumb. It's really dumb, but it's what it was. And then I was a music nerd, and I liked theater and arts and all that stuff. And it was my high school was really college preppy. So I just,
It wasn't very, like, artistically focused. It was more like academics.
Yeah. And so after a while, I was just like, this is stupid. And when I was 16, I took the test and left high school and then never went to college.
What's the test?
The California Proficiency Exam. People call it the GED, but it's actually, it's not exactly the GED, but yeah, same thing. Kind of.
And you just left school early.
Yeah.
It was that bad?
Yeah. It was the bullying, but then it was also just, I knew that I wanted to do something artistic, so it was like, what's the point of sticking around and, wasting time and money and all that stuff? It felt weird, and especially because I could go to college now if I wanted to, go to a community college or whatever.
Yeah.
There's always the option, so it's like, why waste years, I was able to start stand-up when I was 19.
Wow. Yeah. No wonder. Okay.
Yeah. When did you start?
I started about 10 years ago.
Okay, cool.
So I was around 15.
Dude, you're so good. Every time I see you... Okay, like, I know people... You're so funny. Every time I see you, it's, like, really, really... Can you be more uncomfortable with
I just stared at her like she was an alien.
You were like, you're not talking about me. Yeah. You're not talking about me.
It's awkward.
I don't know, but like I know it is kind of awkward, but I just wanted to let you know, because I don't know, people don't give compliments enough, and I really mean it.
Aww.
No, for real, like, you're so funny, and you have such a funny physical, like, wherever you are in your set, you always like have a funny physical contribution.
I need a video to see that, because I don't even know.
I used to take boomerang. Why didn't I take a boomerang of you? Remember that was like the thing that we were doing for a while? Yeah. I got one of you. I tried to get a good one of people. Shit. We'll talk more about that too, because I'd love to talk to you about your stand-up process later, because you always have new material every time I see you, and not just like one new tag or something. You've got like a whole new bit or two. Oh, I'm glad it's
like thought out, and I'm like, oh my god.
Well, thanks. No,
I've harassed you about that before. Okay, so with the bullying thing, so your solution with that was just to like leave school early.
Well, that was like part of the solution. I love that quote. I always forget who said it, but it's like, before you diagnose yourself with depression or low self-esteem, make sure you're not surrounding yourself with assholes first.
Yeah.
So that's the first step, right? Is like, just remove yourself from the situation. But then, I still had the effects of it. And then I was like 30, 40 pounds heavier at one point.
Was that the effect of it? Like,
that was a big part of it. And I was just really, I left school where I felt like an outsider. And then I went into acting school full time where I was an outsider, because I was a 16-year-old kid. And, so it was just like, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like kind of trying to figure out where I was. And I was sort of putting on a face of like, this is who I am. Everybody, please believe me. Like, I'm not an imposter.
Like the imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Like, I am an artist. I feel like when you first start acting, like, I didn't tell anyone I was going to an acting school. Like, I kept it very private. Because it's like this thing where you're afraid people are going to be like, who do you think you are?
Totally. Oh my God. And then so many people who are kind of cliches and messes. And you're like, I don't want to be perceived as that. Yeah. Like, I know so many people who are like, I'm an actor. No, like, for real. Like, I'm a real actor. And I'm just like, okay, why are you yelling at me about it?
I'm seeing that movie Just Friends, and Anna Faris's character is just like, I'm an artist.
Oh, yeah. Okay, kind of like that. I don't know. I just got really, I still am kind of insecure about how people view me, and
really?
You
care how people view you?
I mean, yeah. The thing is, like, I care less about it now, because I know I am on a decent path. Mm-hmm. Like, I have things that prove that I'm doing the right thing.
What makes you feel like you're on the right path? You're doing the right thing.
Well, for one, my love for stand-up hasn't died. It's only grown.
Yeah.
And then the amount of shows are getting, higher. And then, I love my managers, and I wanted to be with them since I started, and then that kind of happened.
It's amazing.
Thanks. Family Guy just happened. I'm on Family Guy now. So
yeah, I saw you post about that.
Oh, thanks.
So what is that?
I know, it's crazy. I mean, God, this sounds like I'm bragging. I totally don't mean to brag.
Well, I'd love to hear this, because it's a part of your journey. I'd love to see how you got from getting bullied and dropping out of school and doing this other path to where you are now, where you feel like you're on a good path, like what the precipice of that was and how that happened.
Okay.
So don't think of it as bragging.
Okay, cool.
I mean,
Yeah,
although,
I never want to sound like...
But go ahead and flip your hair when you talk about some of it, though. That'll make you... There we go.
Boom. I don't know if you guys heard that.
Very long hair.
But there was a waft that was pungent. It was crazy because I just remember my mom, like the principal of my school was like, don't let your daughter quit. What are you? Like, what kind of parent are you?
Oh, no.
And then my mom just really believed in me, luckily, and she was like, just work your ass off and don't disappoint me. I'm like standing behind you. And then after, I started acting, and then I did music for a little bit, and then stand-up came around, and I met my friend Bobby, who, it was like one of his last stand-up shows. He doesn't do it anymore, and then it was one of my first, but we, for some reason, stayed in touch, and he did voices on Family Guy, and I would go to his house to record voiceover auditions, because he has his own booth. And then after a few years of doing it, and then I also write commercials. That's my day job.
I did not know that.
Oh yeah, it's
I'm
just
learning
part-time.
so much about you. This is amazing.
It's just a part-time thing, like 2 or 3 times a week. I work for an ad company and I write and produce commercials for them, and then I also do the voiceover for those. So yeah, it's crazy.
Did you make up that business, or was that like? There's so many questions. I'm going.
I can answer whatever, and I'll make it concise. It's not my business. I got introduced to this guy who runs this ad company, and he wanted like a funny writer, and I I kind of just fell into it, and then the voiceover thing is something I was familiar with, and it just happened. So I was kind of in the groove of that. And then I would go to my friend Bobby's house to record more auditions, and then he was like, like you've gotten better. Let me see if I'll keep you in mind. Yeah. And he didn't say for what. And then one morning, like at 9:30 in the morning, I just got a call. Like, can you come to Family Guy by 10?
What?
Yeah.
Wait, at 9:30
in the morning? Yeah. Can you be here?
Well,
by
luckily
10?
you don't have to like get ready or whatever because it's voiceover.
I didn't shower before I went in.
How could you have?
Yeah. There's
Where
no
in LA
way.
can you go from one place to another place at rush hour traffic time in a half hour?
I know. And somehow I made it. It was insane.
Well, why would they do it so last minute?
Because someone dropped out.
Oh, how do you drop out of family? I have so many questions.
I know. And then I was like, okay, maybe it'll just be a one-time thing, whatever. That's cool. I had a great time, good experience, good credit. And then today it just got confirmed for 3 more episodes. So we'll see. I don't know.
So what's what character?
So it's part of a group. It's some people call it Walla group, Loop group, and it's
Walla.
Yeah.
I remember going to Universal Studios when I was a kid, and like we part of our tour was like to go like Walla.
Oh, really?
In the background when I was
so
a little
funny.
kid in Florida. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of like gibberish talking, like for ambient noise, like out exterior airport, interior airport, and then you do we do like punches and grunts and falls of each character. So Meg is my biggest, is the one that because it's the youngest.
And you both dress alike.
Yeah, we both wear. I never take beanies off. Yeah, that's so funny. It's so true. And so it's gonna be Meg a lot, and then also just group stuff, and then on American Dad, I think it's a lot of Haley.
Oh, you're on American Dad too? Yeah. So that whole family, huh?
Yeah,
that's amazing.
So we'll see. Yeah, I mean it's a crazy thing. Kind of doesn't really. You're blowing up.
I know. I hope I get text bombers. I don't know how to turn this off.
I think you go.
This is so ghetto.
That's fine. No, it's fine. Go like preferences or something.
Okay.
Or just mute right here.
But then won't that mute us?
No, I don't know. I shouldn't say anything.
Oh, here we go. All right, play sound effects, right?
Boom.
Okay. Maybe I'll have to delete. I'll figure this out.
All right.
I'll actually listen to this episode.
That's good. I'm glad you know what your own podcast is.
Chill, bruh. Okay. So tell me about the journey from, like, how did it affect you, like, getting out of that hole of being bullied, gaining all, the weight and the after effects of that? Like, how did you get yourself out of that depressive state?
A big part of it was, well, I went through like a whole weed phase. That's how I was dealing with it for a while.
Weed?
Yeah, I was just smoking like day and night for like 2 years. And that was like a big hole to get out of at one point. And I was even on antidepressants. I was like doing the whole thing. And then I was like, I gotta get off this shit. And I was like 16 on this stuff.
The weed and the antidepressant.
It was just like, oh yeah, I was like doing whatever to self-medicate. It was kind of a gnarly. It's weird to think about now because it's like so not who I am anymore. But I just found like natural, holistic mood enhancement things to supplement. So
like
I would like
HTP or whatever.
5-HTP. Well, what I did was L-tryptophan and 5-HTP, and then L-theanine is a really good one. So there, I just like did a bunch of research. I got really into yoga, and then the biggest thing I think was changing my diet.
Now, changing your diet, that's hard.
It's hard.
Especially
it's the one it's the one nobody wants to do.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I love my ice cream.
I know. I get it.
Like, that's my biggest self-medication. So how did you...
Well, for one thing, there's amazing non-dairy ice cream. And, like, I know, but have you tried it?
Yeah, there's just Ben & Jerry's one that I get.
But you don't like it?
I love it.
Oh, okay.
But I just go through phases where, like, one dessert is my favorite, and I change it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I just noticed that it really just changed my mood. And I'm not, like, preaching, or I think it's, like, whatever people want to do.
So is this, you went vegan?
Yeah.
And that helped?
It changed everything. I wasn't, like... I would wake up in the mornings, like, heavy. I wasn't feeling good physically. I felt, like, gross and, like, clunky. I can't explain it, but it was just, like, everything felt, like, twice as hard as it should have. And I was like, let me just see if I can change the shit. And then when I did, it just, like...
So how long after you changed your diet did you feel...
Immediately. Like, a matter of days.
Really?
Yep.
All right.
I promise. I wouldn't lie about it. I'm not gonna, I'll tell you a bunch of shit's hard when it's hard. Yeah. But, like, this was, like, a real thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta try that.
I don't know.
I don't think I've ever got off dairy before. That was the hardest one. Which I need to. My cholesterol's high, so.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, in LA, it's just so easy to I don't know, substitute.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Traveling can be hard.
I'm
already kind of a particular eater because of having reflux, so, like, everything. Sometimes things get really hard to eat.
Right.
That cause a flare-up.
Yeah.
But, so it sounds like your diet, changing your diet, getting off the drugs and stuff, self-medicating, that helped you get out of the thing that was in. Did you have any, but even with all that said and done, like, sometimes when we have, I mean, and you know this, like, when things happen, we internalize those things, the trauma, and we kind of take over for the exterior voices that we heard before. Like, if someone's saying you suck, you're poor, or whatever, we tend to, like, internalize that and say, I suck, I'm poor. Like, what did you do in terms of changing your mindset?
Meditating was a big one, because it just makes me, I meditate every day for a half hour with, like, no exceptions.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I cannot function the same without it. That's, like, a huge thing, because it just, like, quiets whatever mental chatter would have happened. And, like, I'm still aware of things that are in my, like, blood, basically, my emotional blood, that I might have forever. But, like, I've gone to therapy, so now I'm just more comfortable, I think, with just being uncomfortable, if that makes sense.
It makes total sense.
Yeah, because we're not going to be comfortable all the time.
We're not supposed to.
Yeah, and then, right, yeah, I guess that's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, but then, there are just things that, like, you can surprise yourself with, and then that gives me confidence now. Like, the Family Guy room was really intimidating, and I had never been in a room like that, and there were people who had been in that group for, like, 10 years. And then I was just like, hey,
I'm,
like,
welcoming,
the new person. They were really nice, which helps a lot. But then I was just like, all right, like, I just gotta, like, do my best and just see, and not, like, what else can we do? And, like, forgiving yourself for fucking up is huge also. Yeah. Because, God, I can be really hard on myself for making mistakes.
It kind of seems almost too like things prepare us in our lives for other things to happen. And, you going to that school where you're, a fish out of water, and then going to that acting school where you're a fish out of water, and then now, like, being in this room where you're a fish out of water. It's like you're prepared for it because you've already been through it, and you've been through the worst version of that.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. I still feel that way with comedy because I'm not in it at one club or anything, Like, I kind of feel like I go into clubs and I'm, like, the outsider.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could see that maybe at like the Comedy Store or something. Everyone feels like an outsider, I think. There.
They do.
Unless they work there, or
Right.
they're like in, or they're past.
You feel that way there?
Yeah, sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're like, there's this clique that I'm not a part of?
Yeah. It's like, there's like these cool kids.
Right.
And I'm not a part of the
Right.
kids
Right.
that are like, in the cool kids, they're always the kids with the credits.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
So it's like, you could be in the game for a long time and, not have those credits. But also,
right.
being in this as long as we have been, it's like, that your life can change really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could be a part of that crew where people treat you nicer.
Right. I know, it's messed up. But I
really
definitely
is.
feel really self-conscious around there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, it's a tough place.
Yeah, it's really intimidating.
Yeah.
But then, it's kind of what we were saying, like you do that and then you get through it, and then can anything else be?
Yeah.
How much worse can something else be?
Yeah, exactly. That's part of the reason I wanted to go there so much when I started, was because I'm like, if I can handle it here, then I can handle it anywhere.
Totally.
I don't know if that was like the smartest thing, but I'm glad that I did. That I was going there and showing up regularly, and like you can get spots there, but it's not. I don't think every avenue is for everyone. And it's funny too, because like when you see people like you, I wouldn't see you as being like self-conscious anywhere. You just have like an air of like groundedness.
Oh, thanks.
About you. So I wouldn't
well, I think it's true. Both can be true. Because I do feel grounded, and but I do feel like an outsider.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, I guess it's like you can have those feelings, but like how you act on them and like how you let them affect you. And it just seems like you're like, maybe that's where the meditation comes in. You're like, I see it, but is it true? Maybe not.
Yeah, totally. And then the more you talk to people about it, the more you realize that everyone kind of feels that way.
Yeah.
And so you're like, oh, maybe I'm not really like missing out on something.
I thought I was special by being feeling insecure in this element. But
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's like, no, everyone does. You're like, well, what?
Yeah, especially comics. I mean,
yeah.
we're the most insecure people ever. So it's like, I noticed that at any. I thought getting credits would make me more comfortable, but it hasn't. I mean, it legitimized me, but I'm not like more comfortable at the Comedy Store because of it. You know what I mean? It's not like that at all. So it's just an internal thing. You keep it's so cliche, but like we keep thinking that the solution is going to be when this happens or when that blah, blah, blah. But like even if a bunch of people know you at the Comedy Store, you might still feel like an outsider. You might still be like, oh, I don't know who the fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's always going to be something, like, no matter what level you're at, where you feel like you're not in, or you want to be better, or something like that. So having a system for handling that before it happens is essential.
Yeah, I think it's true. And I have, like, really heavy imposter syndrome.
You have heavy imposter syndrome?
Yeah, I think so. A little bit.
There was some book I read. I don't think I finished, about a lady who had imposter syndrome.
You're an imposter reader.
Imposter reader. She was like like she had to put on one face during school, and then after school she was working and helping provide for the family because some things happened at home. And then she's African American, she's black, so she was going to this school,
both
Ivy League school. And then African American and black.
Damn.
There is a difference.
That's hard. Yeah.
African, you're from Africa. Black, you're from Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, big difference. Yeah, I get
it. So I feel like hers kind of stemmed from like leading this double life where her friends didn't know she couldn't hang out because she's like, I gotta work and pay these bills.
Oh, that's crazy.
You know what I mean? And then she goes into school and she's trying to pretend like she's like a regular student and like crushing it with her grades as well. Did you have anything like that growing up where you feel like you had to play different roles?
I mean, I know I was pretending to be different people, like I wanted to fit in with the rich kids at school, and then I went back to an apartment that, my mom was really stressed about keeping. And
how did you try to pretend to be rich? It was just like an accent. You're like, hello.
Yes, yeah, British. I went full on British.
Hello. Oh wait, that's not the rich British.
That's not.
That's a Cockney.
Yeah. You might want to be like, greetings, cheers.
Is that what you
did? Yeah. Showed up, cheers.
Cheers.
I don't know. I mean, I just wanted to like relate, Leon, when I went to like people's huge houses. I'd be like, this is pretty cool. Whatever.
And just acted unaffected.
Yeah. Just
like, yeah, my butler's got one of those too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's whatever. This is like the size of my guest house. It's pretty sweet.
So funny.
Yeah. And then I think my standards for, like, you know, jumping to comedy days, my standards for good comedy is so high. So, and I've only been doing it like 7 years. So, like, I know that it's going to take a really long time to get to where I want to be. And so that
So
I
you're
feel
saying
like
that right now?
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard something about that. Like, when you go into a field, like, with comedy, your standards are really high because you have really good taste. And then your taste doesn't match where you are.
Yeah.
So there's, like,
your abilities are lower than your standards are. Yeah.
But that keeps changing.
I think it'll keep changing, too. Yeah, so that...
I wonder if Dave Chappelle's like, I'm so funny.
I know. I wonder that, too, because I know he says... I know he talks about the fact that he thinks he's a genius on stage.
Oh, he does? Oh, okay.
Well, it kind of comes up as, like, a joke or whatever, but I always wonder, I'm like, do you, though?
He's also a guy.
He's also a guy.
So guys have that innate, like, I don't know if I'm...
Do they? All guys?
Every single guy in the world. I've talked to them. So I think it's pretty safe to say.
Okay. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I've never been a guy.
There is something else I was going to ask you about that we were talking about on this tangent. Impostor syndrome. Oh, yeah, I can relate to that. I grew up I went to high school and junior high in an area where it was pretty affluent, and I was not. Mm-hmm. And when I talked about it, you know, I'd go to these houses, look how big your house is! Like,
but you have that's part of what I love about your comedy, is that you have this, like, fearless quality to you.
Not even.
But like, I'm not saying that's who you are, but but you can be fearlessly fearful. Does that make sense?
Nah.
No? Like, I feel like you're just, even when you're uncomfortable, you really own it. Even on stage, and you were nervous before the set.
Oh, I had
on Monday.
Yeah, I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, and you were just telling me, and I was just like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, like, that's something I want to be more comfortable being. You know what I mean? Like, I just want, I don't know, I just think it's
I remember
cool.
some comics, like some OG comics, like years ago, I told this guy who's turned out to be a kook, crazy person that everyone hates now, but I remember saying, like, oh, I get nervous or whatever, and he was like, I never get nervous. Like, it was just almost, it was so confrontational, and it was so
That's
weird.
Someone who gets nervous a lot.
It was just so, wait, I think he's a narcissist, so maybe he didn't get nervous.
Unless there's a condition.
Yeah. Unless,
then he's lying.
He has a personality disorder,
I mean,
so he could have, like...
Unless he's Ted Bundy about it.
Oh my god, did you watch that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate him so much.
Yeah, he's pretty awful.
But they were treating him like he was so great.
I know.
Oh,
I know. That was really, yeah, that was really odd. That judge was fucking crazy.
I can't believe what he said. Have you guys watched the Ted Bundy tapes things on Netflix?
Is that insane.
A no? Why aren't you responding?
Yeah. I mean, it's rude, you know?
This podcast.
Yeah, it was intense. Everyone's really mad that people are calling him hot.
He's not even hot.
He's not that hot, but also, even if he were...
He's normal looking enough to where he could murder on the fly.
Yeah, he's, like, aggressively average.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, he could definitely blend in anywhere.
And he did. It's just, like, by parting his hair and changing little things, it made a huge difference.
Yeah, all the pictures looked really different.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It's
good headshots. Yeah.
I don't want to talk about this creep.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about your writing process.
Okay.
Because you tell stories as well.
A little bit.
And you write commercials.
Yeah.
And you write stand-up.
Yeah.
And you probably write in a journal.
Sometimes.
Oh, I just wanted to hear you say yep a bunch of times in a row.
Yep.
All right. When we come back, we're going to discuss all that. Thank you so much for listening to A Little Advice. Hi, guys, and thanks again for listening to A Little Advice podcast. If you're having a good time, please rate, subscribe, share, and leave a little review. It'll help more people find the podcast, and maybe it'll help them in some way. If you'd like to see me do comedy in person, I'll be at Let's Comedy in Indianapolis this weekend on Friday and the Fort Wayne Comedy Club on Saturday. Come by and say hi. Don't forget to rate and subscribe. And also, if you want to say hi, follow me on Instagram at @TheXTeenLittle. Let's be friends. And thank you so much for listening to A Little Advice. We are back at least 2 minutes later. And with Zara Mizrahi, we're going to talk about her writing process. I mean, if you want to pick one, you do a lot. Which one? Let's talk about stand-up, because I've seen you with a lot of variety in your stand-up, and you have these bits that are like really well thought out.
Oh,
like
thanks.
Your like your Dateline bits.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really like that. What's your process of coming up with an idea and hashing it out?
Sometimes, it changes. Like I write a lot of one-liners on Facebook and Twitter, and then so sometimes like if something does really well on there, then I'm like, okay, that's a sign to like dig in more.
I hear a lot of people, not a lot, but I've heard a few people who say something similar.
I mean, it's helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah. A tweet verbatim working on stage is really difficult, I think, but as far as an idea goes, I think it's really valuable. So you can feel like there's something in there. Yeah, I tried to make it a thing to do like a few of them a week. I try. I'm in a little bit of a dry spell right now.
That's smart.
But I just think it's good to stay sharp that way.
Do you have anything that helps, that feeds you in terms of coming up with the ideas?
Sometimes I'll like look. Yeah, I follow a bunch of comedians on Twitter, so sometimes I'll look and see what they're talking about, or I'll look at like a joke format and be like, oh, that's really interesting. Like I never would have thought to make that kind of thing a list. And be like, oh, okay, well, I can make something else a list. Like, what else is like a funny idea that could be a list?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah. I get nervous to do stuff like that because I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm copying, even though it's not copying.
It's not copying. Yeah.
It's just, I think it's like a pride thing where I'm like, oh, I don't want to do that if someone else is doing it, which is silly because no need.
No, a list alone isn't. That's not stealing a joke format.
No.
Stealing a joke format, I mean, you know what that is. It's
stealing a joke.
I mean, yeah, or like, you compare two ideas that are the same. It's like, that's fucking stealing.
Yeah.
But like you can't copyright lists.
Have you ever gotten anything stolen?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just had to deal with it.
Whoa. That was loaded. What happened?
Well, it was funny because I have this like savor line that I say when like a set's not going well, and I've been saying it since I started, and I'm the only one I've ever heard talk about it. And then it was funny. Here's the thing. Like a few years ago, I didn't know how to handle that conversation with somebody. So I was just at dinner with my family, and then I got like 3 different texts from people being like, "This person said your line," and I was like,
3 different people?
Yeah.
They were all at the same show.
Yeah, somehow, yeah. And it was like I was saying it enough where like it was like very clear. That... I'm
like really curious what the line is. You're like, I'm Zara Mizrahi.
And they took my name.
Yeah. You're like wearing a beanie.
That's so funny. Well, I handled it wrong the first time. Like when they took it, or when I heard that this person said it, I went way offensive. And I wrote a polite note. It wasn't like a mean note, but I didn't come at it like, hey, just so you know, I've been saying that. Like, I just full on assumed that she took it.
Oh, God, yeah.
And like, maybe she did, or maybe she didn't. You know what I mean? And like, that's not fair of me to assume, but because I was really possessive of my jokes a few years ago because I didn't have as much confidence as I do now, I got really territorial about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, and again,
most comedians do.
Yeah.
I want to say that. There's been like whole shows, centered around calling people out about it. Like it's a huge, huge like thing.
Yeah. It feels like shit.
Yeah.
And you don't want someone to think that they wrote it. That's not fair.
Yeah.
So again, it wasn't mean, but I was like, I kindly have to ask that you stop using it, which for me is like aggressive because I got text like a couple weeks ago that someone else had taken it, and I know this person had seen me say it. And
was it a guy or a girl?
A girl.
Another girl?
Yes. And so, but this time I approached it way different. Like I took way longer to reach out. I was like, let me just make sure I do this in like a
Were you friends with
way.
This person?
We're casually friends.
Okay.
like, we definitely say hi, hug when we see each other, and,
It's hard to have, like, real friends in stand-up. There's, like, people that you're like, I enjoy being around you. I'll see you in 3 years on the next show together. But it's like, I find that I really don't know anybody.
Yeah. I mean, you never, because you're like, you know, what's real? Like, you know, am I friends with you based on your act? Am I friends with you based on you? Like, where does one start and another begin? Because it is a little weird. But this time I took a little while to reach out to her, and when I did, I liked the way I handled it this time, because I was just like, I'm not accusing you of anything, and, you know, please...
Leave that. Use it again, I'll cut your throat.
It was nothing like that. Okay. Hilarious. You went full-on Godfather with it.
And it'd just be funny, because you're like, I really like the way I handled that. Sorry
to
interrupt.
Yeah, I like the way I handled it, mostly because she's dead now. But... No, I just wasn't antagonistic about it, because no one deserves that. And, you know, as far as I know, maybe she thought she came up with it on her own. And I've done that, where I thought that I genuinely came up with something and I didn't. So I just wanted to give her the benefit of the doubt. And luckily she was really cool about it. And it went way better this time. Like, I wish I had done that a few years ago.
So what did you say? What did she say? And how did the other girl handle it a few years ago?
Luckily the other girl a few years ago handled it really nicely too. She was like, if you want to talk about it, please, like, but I've been doing a version of that since... blah, 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 and so she was defending it. I don't know if it's true or not, but I have no reason to assume it's not, but I got really, like tunnel vision about it.
Right.
You know, which is not fair.
Well, it's also hard, too, when people are texting you and they're like, look, you know, this person did that.
Yeah, it
like,
freaked me out.
Yeah.
And I was like, she can't do that again! And so, you know, but, like, and it sucks, because now maybe I don't know. Like, now it's awkward with us. Like, when I see her around, it's weird. And it's like, why couldn't I have just handled that cooler? Yeah. You know? And now it's not going to be it's not going to be weird with this other girl. It'll be totally cool because it was handled differently.
What did you say to the most recent one?
I was just like, hey, this is awkward. But, like, I got some text that you had said this line at this show. And, I just want you to know that I've been saying that for a long time. And, as like, if people hear it, they're gonna think it's mine. So I'm also looking out for you. Like, I don't want people to think that you took it either. And I was like, if you want to talk about it, like, I'm totally open to it. I'm not accusing you of anything, and blah, blah, blah. I just wanted to give you the heads up, and if you want to have a conversation, we can have a conversation. And I think that's, like, a better way to go about it. And luckily she called me and was really responsive and was like, please tell me, like, where someone's... And I was like, I'm not gonna, like, put... my friends on blast.
Awkward.
It was weird. I was like, look,
it's not a response. It's like, hey, I'm sorry, or like, yeah, I did it, or I didn't. It was like, who told on me? Like,
she didn't confirm or deny, but she was like, I don't remember doing that at all. I'll make sure to never do it again. Yeah. So, like, she was responsive without, you know, she said she doesn't remember, so. I mean, whatever. It's you know.
She'll remember now.
Yeah, now she will.
After you break her legs.
After she's dead. I mean, luckily she was very responsive. Like, you know, it could have gone another way. Yeah. So that's nice, at least. Like, I definitely want to give her credit for that. But it's awkward. It's like, I don't know. But part of this whole thing is just, I don't know. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about. Like, I've been through a lot. And people have been really mean to me, and you go through a lot of pain. And I just never want anyone else to feel that way. So it's like, I want as much of my own life to be as, like, understanding, compassionate, and, like, benefit of the doubty as possible.
Well, that's interesting, because some people go the other way.
Yeah.
Where they're like, I was hurt, I had to pay my dues, and I had to figure this out, and so I don't care. Now it's my turn, I'm in the position of power, now I'm gonna hurt. So what is the difference? Like, what made you go this way and not the other way?
I mean, it's just, what does perpetuating it do? Like, you know, I've been deceptive with people. Like, I went through a little period where I was scared to be honest with people, and I've, you know, made mistakes in relationships and been caught being dishonest, and, like, because I wanted to, like, put on a thing of, like, I'm this person, and you know what I mean? And I wasn't being honest, and then, you know, you see the damage that does when you hurt somebody. It's fucking awful. Like, if you hurt someone, it really feels like shit. And I'm not saying that, like, you know, to be, like, preachy. It's just, like, it really feels bad. It's like when you eat bad food, you feel bad. And when you do bad stuff, you feel bad. you know, like, it just doesn't, you know, and especially, like, we're all suffering on some level, right? Like, humans are just trying to do the best they can, so it's like, I'm trying to do the best, they're trying to do the best, like, let's just work together and, like, see if there's a way to move this forward better. It's just being mean just really keeps things stagnant or pushes them back, and it's like, that's just not the kind of life I want to live. I want to, like, move forward and grow and just, like, be cool with people.
Yeah.
It's just
and you don't want to feel like crap.
And I don't want to feel like shit. And I feel better when I'm nice to people. So in a way, it's more selfish.
Yeah.
You know, just, like, be cool. And then, like, I noticed that I just feel so much better. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, let's go back to your writing. So, you tweeted out, have you ever had any tweets stolen or anything by, like, the Fat Jewish?
Yeah. What? Oh, not by the Fat Jewish. No. But I've seen people post my stuff, yeah. Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then, yeah, that's the internet, which sucks, right?
Yeah.
Have you had that happen?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't think I'm saying anything like, like...
Yeah, it's tough.
Steal-worthy.
But that's what happens when you put yourself out there enough, and then it's like, all right, you have to open yourself up to that possibility.
You open yourself up to it, and it's a growing opportunity on your part. Like, how am I going to handle this?
Yeah.
Did you approach those people as well, or whoever?
No, that one I let go, because it's the internet, and I can prove the timestamp. You know? Like, if it ever happened where the confrontation was going to go down, I have mine to prove it.
Wow, it's like a legal thing, huh?
Well, almost. You know?
Yeah.
If someone posts something after you, there's no way, like... There's no way they're gonna... And then if not, people are gonna forget they wrote that anyway. It's not like they're getting jobs off one tweet, so... You know.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean...
Well, if it's like a habit of theirs to do that. Like,
sure, but eventually you're gonna have to... Like, let's just say they got a job, like a job in some room. Then they have to go to the room and they have to deliver every day. They can't, like, bring someone's tweets into
they're
the room.
going to be stealing a lot more.
Yeah, and you can't get away with it for that long.
Yeah.
You know? So, people really, like, dig their own holes. But I noticed, like, recently with my writing, to answer your question, and I want to hear about yours, too, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I genuinely do.
Huh.
I wanted to get more personal with my stuff. I noticed, like, the first several years I did stand-up, I was going really observational, because it's, for me, easier.
I think a lot of people do.
Yeah, it's just easier.
Yeah.
You're looking outside for something funny, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna grab that, and, like, pull it into my stand-up, and then now I'm trying to go more, like, inside out, if I can, and there are a lot of new experiences in my life that I've never been open about before, like my relationship, and my fears about it, and, my discomfort with being this close to somebody. I've never been.
What does he say when he hears you do those jokes?
He thinks it's awesome. When he met me, I wasn't doing any of that stuff, obviously, you know? And
he's
so
supportive.
Yeah, no, he's great. He's like, talk about whatever you want. I always ask him, I'm like, does this cross the line? Like, tell me if you... And he always says no. So, I mean, he's cool, but I'm definitely trying to, like, respect his privacy also.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird. I'm just trying to be, like, hyper conscious of all the things I'm feeling, good or bad. You know, I notice I'm self-conscious in my house. Because there's someone there. So, okay, like, there's funny stuff in there. Like, what are you doing to deal with how self-conscious you are? Like, that's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny.
In your own fucking house.
That's a great way. I've never thought of it like that. Like, here's your feeling. Because I know how I might feel about things, but then there's that other element of, like, how are you reacting to it? How are you trying to deal with it? I wouldn't have thought to think of the humor in that way.
Oh, really?
So when I hear about people's writing processes, that's what I'm trying to hear is, like, what do you think? Like, what mentally do you go through to come up with stuff? So that's very interesting.
Yeah, totally. I mean, how do you write?
You know what? I think most of the time it's like me hanging out with someone that I can clown with, and then it just naturally comes up on the fly.
Okay.
And then they'll be like, write that down, or I'll be like, oh, there's something there, and I'll write it down. And then put it in my set. I'm trying to think of the newest jokes I have. Oh, yeah, that kind of just came... Yeah, that was just me saying that.
The Coke thing?
Well, I don't know where the Coke thing came from.
The Coke thing was hilarious. That was so funny. That was so good. You have such good one-line things. You said something... Oh, about saying bye to Samantha.
Oh,
Like, we couldn't find her, and you needed to leave. And you were like, if you see Sam, can you tell her?
Oh, that's from Friends.
Oh, it
that
is?
That from Friends.
Oh,
yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said something else when we grabbed coffee that day. Oh my god.
God, when was that? Like 2 years ago?
It's probably like, yeah,
Jeez,
a year or two ago,
we were
probably.
supposed to be best friends.
We can do that? This can be our reunion. Wait, I'm trying to think. You said something fucking hilarious. You said something like, you were like, and me, I'm fat. And I was like, what? You're like, I said I'm fat. And I'm like, no, I wasn't asking legitimate.
That's pretty funny.
That is so funny.
I said I'm...
Yeah. That was fucking hilarious. I started dying. You have really good moments.
I think I'm good on the fly, like
Yeah.
with wit and stuff like that. So to sit down and try to write is very challenging for me.
Makes sense.
And
But it
then
doesn't matter how you do it.
Yeah.
It just matters that you do it. And every time I see you, there's new stuff. So
I just wish that I could flesh it out more, because there are like these like little one-liner things that come, and sometimes I'll say something new on stage I haven't said before, but that comes on the fly from being in that energy and feeling comfortable or whatever.
do you not record your sets?
I do record my
okay.
sets, yeah. So I'll I'll use the last line that I came up with at wherever at Mickey's. I'll incorporate that into my set. But
Yeah, it's great.
but just like the concept in general, that's what I want. Because I notice my stand-up tends to go in a few different categories: family, love, and relationships, and work stuff, and then like some miscellaneous, like the home stuff. Which I would probably classify as like insecure stuff, even though that bit doesn't seem like I'm being insecure. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, the emotional stuff that ties it together.
Yeah.
Across genres. Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, I try to have like a through line, and that determines sometimes how I even reshape something. It's like, I want to do this observational joke. It's like, well, how can I put that in my set? What would make sense? Well, I could change it to this and use it as more of a specific observation for this specific situation that I'm already talking about.
Totally.
If that makes sense.
No, it totally makes sense. I love it. I told you this the other night, but like your turns of phrase are so funny. I even like how you said, I tried waitressing once for 7.5 years.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Like, that's a joke like from The Office that they would have. You know what I mean? Like that type of joke. Like, changing the way the smallest thing in a sentence, and it makes this like, giant difference.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's great. So yeah, with stand-up, I guess I just try to now I'm trying to get more and more personal. I noticed that.
Yeah.
I was just, for a while I was just trying to fit in. So I was like, observational stuff, that relates to everybody. And then I was like, actually, I want to be more honest because it's just the path I'm on, and it's just like this honesty thing. So I was like, all right, let me see. I'm just going to be more personal and more honest about stuff that I'm usually shy about sharing.
Yeah.
And then I noticed that that's actually more relatable.
It is relatable.
Even
and
more
it's
than
like
the
more
stuff.
more of an emotion, because you're connecting with people like on an emotional level versus just like, yeah, I noticed that too. But you can still do that with both. But yeah, I tend to, part of the reason I like to talk about personal stuff is like, because that thing I always heard of like, no one can take it because it's your experience.
It's so true. It's 100% true. And you notice that actually experiences that you think are unique to you actually aren't.
Yeah.
Like everyone
Like
does
how
that.
you feel about it. And it's almost like a journal, too, of your life. It's like, when I wrote this joke, I was going through this breakup. And then when I did this was happening.
It's
and
really
then,
cool.
Yeah, so it's like you have these, like, little... I have a terrible memory, so you have these, like, little, like, pockets of your life that you can remember through the jokes you were telling during that time period.
I mean, yeah, it, like, solidifies memories,
Yeah.
for sure. And then it's funny when, like, jokes don't apply anymore. So
Yeah,
you
you don't want to do them anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, I quit. There's some stuff that I used to do all the time that you just randomly quit doing, and
Yeah.
you're like, oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Wonder what happened. I
Uh-huh.
guess I'm over it.
Yeah.
So tell me about, like, when you're writing commercials. That's got to be a different process versus writing jokes.
Yeah. So that depends on the goal of the client. And most of the clients at the ad company I work at are automotive clients. So we have a lot of dealerships, but then we also have law enforcement. Like I work for the FBI. And
wow.
Yeah, so that
Did
was
they have
crazy.
to clear you for that?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, which luckily it was not a problem.
Oh, really?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, man.
But that was funny because we were all getting cleared because we had to go up to the branch, which was the San Francisco branch. And it
Why didn't they just come to you?
well, we had to go there to shoot stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, because that was the team we were working with. So, it was really funny, though, because we... I don't even know if I should say this, but fuck it. There was someone on our team who like, we all had to submit our social security numbers and all that stuff. And then, like, within 5 minutes that my boss submitted all of our information, we got a call from someone on our crew. It was like, did we get cleared? And he's like, I don't know yet. Like, why? And he's like, listen, man.
Oh my God. You know you're in for a good story.
I know. So that's how we found out he's, like, been arrested twice and all this shit. It was one of the funniest things in the world. I was dying.
So did he get cleared?
He got cleared because they were looking for terrorism. They weren't looking for, like, yeah.
Oh my God.
I know, but that was really funny. So yeah, so our goals when we write commercials depend on the client. So obviously with car stuff, they want to sell cars, and some are just really straightforward car commercials. Like when I write for Toyota, those are just pretty straightforward. But then our biggest client is
Are those like the big, like when like they're driving and then like
it's well,
or
ours
are
are local
dealerships.
Ours
So
are
it's
local.
like go see Cal.
I mean, hopefully better, but then
I
you're reenacting.
one of my favorites is I say that like, yes, Cerritos Auto Square.
Oh yeah.
And I just bought a car from there.
Oh, congrats!
Thanks.
That's
I
fun.
don't have it yet, but yeah, Cerritos, but it works.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And keys
Keys
on Van Nuys. Like,
yeah.
we all know it.
Yeah, why'd you go to Cerritos? You live right by Keys on Van Nuys.
Because I was getting help from my team that lives in that area. So
Your team?
my team.
Your employees?
No.
Your servants?
My lover and his dad.
I know, I was trying to give you the benefit of the doubt. Your 1099ers?
My independent, my contractors are down there.
No, I get it. I understand.
That's
awesome.
I'm gonna take them out.
What'd
to
you
lunch.
get?
I got a Kia Rio.
Cool! Dude, that's
I'm
awesome.
excited. I'll be more excited. I'm saving my excitement for when I have the car in hand.
So that's great.
Yeah,
There's
thanks.
nothing like, new cars are really fun.
Can't wait to smell it.
I know, that's the best. And you're like, I'm just going to take the scenic way home, and then you like drive through Arizona. And then
I'm just excited to have Bluetooth. Just like all this stuff that I haven't.
Man.
I mean, my car right now is a 2006,
Oh,
so
shit.
it doesn't have any of that cool stuff.
Oh my
so
God,
I'm very
cool.
excited about
That's
that.
going to be a huge jump. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then sometimes like the way I like to write commercials, and it's actually, now that I'm thinking about it, kind of similar to what I do with stand-up, is the best ads are the ones that provoke an emotional response, right? So what I try to do is like reverse engineer that. So when we're around the holidays, it's like, okay, like gratitude, love, and family. Like those are the categories, right? So I'm like, okay, what's like a nice way to move backwards from that, and then have that be the goal, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it depends on the brand too. I'm trying to think of like a specific thing that I can pull. So like I write for Porsche sometimes because Rusnak Auto Group. You might have seen those like silvery plates that say Rusnak on them, whatever. They have like several brands under their umbrella. So we write for Porsche sometimes or whatever. And then Porsche's brand is like really fast and expensive and good. So like if you have a hook like live at the speed you want, then that's like perfect for Porsche. You know what I mean? But then if I have a hook like that, then I'll be like, oh cool, and then I'll like write up something like that, which we did. But like that wouldn't fit for Toyota. You know, Toyota.
So that is a hook that you had on stock, or is that a hook you came up with?
No, I came up with it.
I was gonna say, why did you have that on stock?
I'm like trying to think of like specific examples. So
you had that hook, and then you make a scenario around that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we write 30s, 45s, and 60s, depending on, you know, where it's going to
30 second, 45 second, 60 second.
Yes, thank you.
So, 35, 45.
Yeah, and then each length is different for, like, Spotify, Pandora, and then, like, AM, FM radio.
Nice.
And then depending on how long we have, you know, maybe we'll put in an offer, maybe not, but I'll just try to come up with, like, some sort of emotional thing, like something that would make someone feel something, and then try to write around that. Like, that's why we want to share the blah, blah, blah.
Like a birthday or like a
holiday,
or
anything like that. Like kids going back to school.
Yeah.
Kids coming out of school. All this.
That's pretty creative.
Yeah, it's interesting. I have like a file in my phone of like possible hooks and, you know.
You just write down, you're like, oh, this would be a good hook for...
Yeah. I'll be like, the good news is, blah, blah, blah. The bad news... You know, we have way too many cars to choose from. You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, oh, that's perfect for.
Yeah.
So I just try
You're kind
to
of always working.
Sort of, yeah.
Always looking for inspiration.
Yeah, I guess I like writing a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes me feel like what I'm doing is sustainable.
Like it's gonna live on.
Well, yeah, like, you know, because for me, when I was only acting, it sort of felt like I was just acting when I would act, and that was it. But, like, when I'm writing, it's, like, it's kind of an ongoing thing all the time, and then I noticed that people with, like, the most long-lasting careers are writers.
Wow.
So I was like, this is what, I just want to be a writer.
Yeah.
You know?
And you get to choose what you talk about and, like, be more creative and try different things.
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I got lucky with that day job.
Yeah.
Because it's creative, but...
Yeah, that's a pretty great day job.
Thanks.
For a comedian.
Yeah. It's good. It's definitely ideal. My boss is super cool, supportive of, like, stand up. If I have a show, he's like, get out of here.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
It's
amazing.
like, if we've done everything.
So you go into an office. You don't work remotely.
Sometimes I go in. Sometimes tomorrow I'm working remote. But
Nice.
yesterday I was in there. Yeah, and then we shoot the commercials. So it's like I'll write something and then we shoot them.
That's so fun.
Yeah, it's great.
It's
really
fun. I'd love to see some of your commercials.
Yeah.
Do you have them on your website or anything?
No, and I probably should.
Yeah,
but I can definitely, like, play you. I do, like, the speed reads at the end, like, they're really fast.
You're one of those people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
funny.
voiceover just became, like, a really big part of what I you know, do. It's really odd. Like, I wasn't expecting.
So you were doing voiceover before you got this job?
Not, maybe a little bit, but not that much. I mean,
now you're like proficient, like you're.
Yeah, now it's like, you know, now it's like half my salary.
That's amazing.
Yeah, now because of the new stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before it was just part of my day job, but now with the extra stuff, it's like with animation. Once it crossed over into that, then it's a different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully it lives. We'll see.
Do you feel like your mindset had anything to do with, like, these opportunities coming to you?
Yeah, 100%.
Tell me about that.
I wasn't secure and comfortable in my personal life for so many years, and I was in a relationship that I really wanted it to work, but it just wasn't right. And so I think that had, like, a big effect on just my mental peace. And then as soon as what?
I'm just thinking. It's just making me think. So you were in a relationship that you
I mean, that's part of it. I'm not going to blame everything on that.
No, of course not. That just having that, like, imbalance in your life, and I'm just curious on, like, what that looked like. And
well, just I wasn't happy with a lot of my choices.
Right.
So I felt bad about that, and it would take up space. And then a lot, you know, I was in my early 20s, and I made mistakes like we all do, early to mid. But then also it just wasn't the right fit. So, you know, and he's an amazing person. Like, I'll respect him forever, but, like, it just wasn't the right fit. So it's like, I was feeling bad about that. Like, I was feeling guilty that it wasn't working. And then I just felt bad about myself. And so then I would go to shows feeling kind of not great about myself, like, hoping that I could fool everybody into thinking that I was, like, comfortable and confident. And, like, that's terrible. That'll, like, just chip away at your self-esteem every day. And
it's like death by 1,000 cuts.
It seriously is. It's and I didn't really realize that how much falls into place when you feel like you're good.
So how did you know that had shifted for you?
Like, when it was, like, officially unhealthy?
When you got out of it, like, what were, like, some of the signs? And, you know, you have these things come into your life, like, how did you know? I mean, I guess this is a silly question, but sometimes you don't know when you're in a shitty place.
Oh, dude, I had no idea. I didn't know how bad it was.
Yeah.
And I literally didn't know how bad it was until not just when I left it, but when I found a relationship that I really believe in. You know, because I'm like, oh, this is what people talk about when they say you have to be in this kind of relationship.
What was the difference for you?
I mean,
between the two?
Just
not to bash the other guy.
No,
but just
not at all. Just the, you know, me and my boyfriend now are just like, we're just in sync. Like, we value the same things. So if I'm like, I want to go, you know, I'm just going to chat with this person for a little after a show. It feels like the right thing to do. I'll be like, yeah, cool. Like, do it. You know, or,
whereas, like, the old relationship that you
I think it might have been a problem. Yeah. And like, you know,
okay.
Yeah, it was hard.
Yeah.
It was like, I was constantly worried about how he would feel and what he would do. And again, like, those are his values and they're just as right as mine. Right. You know, like, maybe that's right for him.
Yeah.
And he'll find someone who agrees. And that's great. For me, I want to be trusted. You know, like, but, you know, maybe I also did things to make him not trust me. That's possible too. Like, you know, it's a hard thing. I don't know where one problem stops and another begins, but I just know that I would never be dishonest with my dude now. So he definitely like trusts me if I don't respond for a little while because I'm like doing something, or work or whatever. And then yeah, I think he just makes me want to be more honest. He'll be like, you should talk more about that. Like, I have this new bit about like how girls put like their loose hair on the
I was thinking about that today and yesterday. I love that. I was like nodding my head when I'm like, yes, you put it, you don't want to clog the drain. Yeah. I hate it when people don't do that. Right. When you clog the drain, no one wants to stand in water.
Totally. And then you have to like dig out the fucking hair from
it's disgusting. Yeah. You're peeing in there. And...
Yeah. Right? I mean, for example, you take shits in there. I mean,
we all do it.
We all do it. So I should talk about that. Yeah. I mean, who shits in the shower?
You know, ladies, when you're taking a crap in the shower.
Right? So like, there are just things that I'm like, I'm not concerned about hiding parts of myself in this relationship, and I definitely was in my last one. So it just makes me want to be more, like, I really don't believe anymore that you can compartmentalize your life. How you do one thing is, I really believe how you do everything. I really believe that now that I've lived that. So it's like, now that I'm like honest with him, he's like pushing me to be honest in ways I wasn't even aware of. But like, talk about the shower thing. Talk about the fucking hair thing. That's hilarious. I was like, are you sure? And then I said it once and people started like catching on, and I was like, oh my God, this is great. You know?
Wow. Yeah. I love that. So it kind of seems like when you got rid of some things that were imbalanced in your life, like it just kind of made room for things that were working, and that thus attracted more goodness.
I mean, yeah. If you're not, honestly, like, it's really scary to be honest. It's really scary, you know. And I definitely had a lying problem in my early 20s because I was so afraid.
That seems like such a recurring theme for you. Is just like how, like,
the honesty thing,
the people's perception of you, and having to put on a certain front for.
It's exhausting.
I bet.
And it's terrible. I mean, like, I understand why I did it, but I don't know how I did it, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you have to put up this front all the time, and it's just like, for what, dude? Like, for what? But that's, you know, you grow out of it. Like, at a certain point, you're just, like, tired of working that hard for nothing. For free. If someone was paying me to be a dishonest person, then great.
Like, there's always going to be people who don't like you, even if you're
And that's true, too.
So it's like...
That's true, too.
So it's like, be yourself, and then people... Like, you at least don't have the stress of faking it anymore on top of it, because people already didn't like you when you were faking it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no really way around that.
Yeah.
Okay, well, where can... thank you.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah. Where can people find you?
Instagram's probably best. Zara, Zara, Mizrahi, Mizrahi. Zara Mizrahi on Instagram.
I love, you got a great Instagram. She's very photogenic.
Oh, God, thank you.
Very cool pictures. I love it.
Dude, same with you. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. And thank you guys so much for listening. I really appreciate it. If you want to follow me on Instagram, I'm at the xteenlittle. And thank you guys so much for listening to A Little Advice. Oh, and please share.